AlfaTauri. Pierre Gasly wins the Italian Grand Prix. Oh my, is that just wonderful? Carlos Sainz comes home for second place, and what a great fight he gave. Lance Stroll completes the podium places, but take a bow, Pierre Gasly. 12 months ago, he came here so downhearted after being released by Red Bull and sent back to his former team. He leaves Monza this year as a race winner in Formula One.
McLaren gutted up on the pit wall, 4/10 off an important victory, but Gasly had the head and the speed when it mattered.
The first new winner of a Grand Prix in Formula One's World Championship, and it is, what, an 80th Grand Prix win, I think, for a French driver. The first since Olivier Panis back in Monaco in 1996. And we came here, Martin, with no tifosi to celebrate underneath the podium, but you know, we all sat in the office and thought, well, that might not matter too much because chances of Ferrari being on the top of the podium are very slim anyway. But it is a home win. It's the Italian team, it's AlfaTauri, that will have the national anthem, the Italian national anthem on that podium, and driver of the day as well. I mean, take a bow, Pierre Gasly.
Absolutely, well done. So happy for him. And, well, they stuck with it, didn't they? They made it all happen. They took their chances, and it's not often Mercedes-Benz will hand you a chance on a plate.
Oh, what a race, Carlos. P2. I know you wanted the win, but you're P2, buddy. That's a really good result. You've been great all weekend. You've been great all weekend and made up for that red flag. Great work, mate.
Yeah, I don't know whether to laugh or to cry. So close, but yet so far. One more lap. I need one more lap.
It is his best result in Formula One. It is for Racing Points under their new ownership since Lawrence Stroll and the consortium bought out the team from Vijay Mallya. It is their best result in Formula One, and it is a second podium in Formula One for Lance Stroll as well. Well done to Lando Norris for finishing fourth ahead of Valtteri Bottas, who does close that lead in the championship that Lewis Hamilton, his teammate, had over him, but not by much, because Ricciardo finished 6th and Hamilton finished 7th. Ocon, Kvyat and Perez completed the top 10, and, well, sadly, frustration for Williams in the last race. For Williams as a family-run team, they finish 11th and tantalisingly just out of the points again. Ted Kravitz, you can see Pierre Gasly, and Pierre Gasly as a race winner leap off the cockpit of his car.
What a feel-great result this is. There was pandemonium in the AlfaTauri pits. Everybody hugging each other, everybody in tears. Franz Tost hugging all the guys from Honda as well. Even the guy who does their COVID tests was out there screaming and punching the air.
Shouting, keep your distance.
There's brilliant stuff down here.
It's wonderful. We see, Martin, so much emotion in this sport year after year, but this is absolute raw, and we've not seen this for this team since 2008 with Sebastian Vettel in the rain. And how they celebrated in Brazil when he got second last year, we're going to double that tonight, I'm sure.
Formula One needs this kind of result. It really does. First French winner of a Grand Prix since Olivier Panis at the 1996 Monaco Grand Prix. And is he happy about that?
And his fellow countryman Romain Grosjean rushes over Charles Leclerc.
That's nice.
Rushes over too. I don't think when they sit down in the cold hard light of day any driver is going to begrudge this victory as well, because he has had to put up with a lot over the last 12 months.
Remember that interview I did with Charles Leclerc, and I said, you know, what's impressed you so far this year? He said, Pierre Gasly.
Sir Frank and Claire Williams as team owner and deputy team principal in Formula One. Another great British name in the sport. McLaren can celebrate a podium with Carlos Sainz, and it is feel good. You know, whilst you don't want to see the Verstappens, the Leclercs of this world, the Sebastian Vettels not racing at the end, it's always nice to have something a bit different.
Yeah, the cards fell into their hands, and then they played them beautifully.
Good, be happy, man. Podium in Monza.
Yeah, be happy. Podium in Monza. He'll think, I know Lance Stroll will think this, that it could have been more. And the restart didn't quite go his way, and we saw that lock up, didn't we, into the second chicane.
That's what cost him, is the second start. Lance will rue that second start, but it is still a great podium. 3 seconds covered the top 3, and Hamilton got up to 7th. They thought he might get to 6th, but there was quite a big gap between Ricciardo and Ocon, and that's the gap that Lewis Hamilton landed in.
So it's Hamilton on 164 points, and now his teammate Valtteri Bottas back into second with 117 points. Lewis Hamilton does have a 221st career points finish. That equals Michael Schumacher's all-time record.
Why am I not doing? I wish I was doing these post-race interviews. I've had all the ones that you won again, Lewis. Yeah, you lost again, Valtteri. I did. You couldn't keep up with the Mercs, Max. I couldn't. No, gents, our man JB, he's going to have the fun.
Wow, well, that was an extremely exciting Italian Grand Prix 2020. We're here with Lance. And Lance, fantastic podium finish. Are you happy with that P3?
I am. It's been a couple of years since I stood on a podium, so it feels good to be back. It was such a crazy race. I'm so happy for Pierre. I think he really deserved it. He had a great start. And he just stayed consistent all the way throughout the race. So, yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. I think it was kind of mine to lose there, starting from second. But I just had no grip at the start, and I had a ton of wheel spin, and everyone flew by me. But I had a good scrap with Carlos there in the first couple laps. I overtook him around the outside, and then he got me again down into turn 1. So we were battling out there, and yeah, I'm happy to pick up third. I think the win slipped away from us today, but, the third is great.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic result. The podium, such a young podium, the young guns on the podium is fantastic to see. How strange is it starting a race again halfway through?
It's bizarre. I mean, you got to reset. We're not used to that intermission halfway through a race, so, yeah. But, yeah, great to finish third.
Congratulations, Lance. Carlos.
You went brave, eh?
Carlos, what a drive. You've been getting the maximum out of the car for so many races in this McLaren. I'm sure it's exciting. It's great to get a P2, but you were so close. You pushed him so hard there at the end.
Yeah, it's incredible that way. I'm halfway disappointed with P2, I wouldn't have believed that I would have got a chance to fight for victory today. We were very, very close. But
It's just been quick all weekend.
Yeah, I think especially getting back from P6 to P2 and then chasing Pierre and managing to finish 3 or 4 tenths behind on the flag. We need to be proud of that. We need to be proud of the pace of the car. And then that red flag, I think I would have finished behind Lewis today, but it's what it is.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And congratulations to McLaren as well. This is another good step forward for them this weekend. Pierre. I mean, sensational. In your short period in Formula One, you've been through so much of emotion, highs, lows. This is phenomenal. It must feel very special.
Honestly, it's unbelievable. I'm not realizing what's happening right now, It was such a crazy race. And then, yeah, we capitalized on the red flag. The car was fast. We had a pretty fast car behind us, and I mean, as you said, I've been through so much in the space of 18 months. My first podium last year, I was already like, wow, with AlfaTauri, and now my first win in Formula One in Monza. I struggle to realize.
Yeah, and the emotion for your team. In Italy, they've won as an Italian team. You can see what it means to them, and it must be so nice celebrating with them.
I've got no words. I have no words. And, you know, this team have done so much for me. They gave me my first opportunity in F1. They gave me my first podium. Now they are giving me my first win. It's crazy, honestly. It's just crazy. And I'm so happy. I can't thank them enough. Everybody from AlfaTauri to Honda. I mean, it's a power-sensitive track, and we won the race ahead of all the Mercedes, Ferrari, and Renault cars. So it's just an amazing day.
I'm not sure I'm 100% correct, but I think you're the first French winner since 1996.
That's right. Olivier Panis was the last one, and I've always said coming in F1, okay, that's one thing we need to change because it's been so long, but I never expected that it would happen to us with AlfaTauri, and we just kept focusing on ourselves since last year, working, improving step by step, and it's crazy, honestly. I'm just so happy.
Congratulations, Pierre. Go and enjoy it with your team.
On Friday in first practice, Ted Kravitz and I were discussing whether if he won a race, AlfaTauri would have the Italian national anthem or the Austrian national anthem playing. I didn't think we'd get to find out quite so soon in this race that it will be the Italian national anthem, and their crew, Martin, have come onto the track to act as Tifosian fans to have some sort of celebration underneath the podium. Yeah,
they're all in the same bubble, of course, so and they're all tested together, and this is brilliant.
They work long hours. They work so hard, and this is the sort of winning feeling that a team like AlfaTauri obviously don't get to feel very often. Just the second time for some of those crew, they'll remember the Toro Rosso day back here.
Yeah, we need this. What a great day for Formula One this is. We need these days. We need the surprises. We need... And
over the penalties that were handed to Giovinazzi and to Lewis Hamilton.
I just had to take this opportunity to say to Claire and Frank, thank you so much for everything you've done for me, for the whole team. It's going to be a shame to see you leave. We'll really miss you, and yeah, just thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Also, George Russell, absolutely, and Nicholas Latifi, his teammate, finishing a career best
Claire, I'm sure you're going through a world of emotions right now. I just wanted to say one last time, thank you for everything you've done for me, for giving me this opportunity. I know I'm going to miss you. F1 is going to miss you. Just be sure that we'll keep pushing 100% to bring the Williams name back to where it belongs. Wishing you, Mark, Nate, the best in wherever life takes you next. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Nicholas Latifi and George Russell paying tribute there to their deputy team principal, who said she wasn't going to cry again today, but I think there might be a couple of tears being shed. So I'm sure Mercedes will say, look, the penalty was too harsh. We didn't know the pit lane was closed. It ruined the race for us. It gave us a very different race.
Yeah, Lewis was first on the scene, of course, because he had such a lead, but they cannot complain about that penalty.
And of course,
I'm afraid the procedure was followed. The message was up on the board. It's unusual. It's highly unusual, and I can see how they fell into the track with Lewis like way out front like that. But and then Alfa Romeo obviously made the same mistake with Giovinazzi. But all the other teams spotted it and sorted it and ran it correctly.
And of course, Charles Leclerc's crash acted as a double whammy, really, because they had to take the penalty when the pack restarted and they were all close together. But that is for the after show with Simon Lazenby. At the moment, it's Lance Stroll. And come on, Lance, you're on the podium for a second time. You're alongside Carlos Sainz there. Sainz looking, well, like he would rather have a win, I'm sure, but should feel so satisfied, like the Racing Point driver, that they're up there and they gave such a great battle. But the big grin and the big smile will be on the face of this man, who might just shake his head a little bit, because I'm sure he can hardly believe what has happened this afternoon. The 109th winner in Formula One, the 109th different driver. It's Pierre Gasly.
It's so sad for these guys that they're not going to get the full Monza podium experience with no crowd underneath, because that is something else.
But I'm sure they will never forget this moment where they all stood together and Pierre Gasly winning for AlfaTauri. the French and the Italian national anthems then. And for Pierre Gasly, a week after that emotional return to Spa, 12 months following on from the tragic death of Antoine Hubert, now has the ultimate high in Formula One to raise the winner's trophy aloft. The top step of the podium at Monza. And that looks like the team manager at AlfaTauri, Graham Watson, long-time servant of the team, who collects the Constructors' Trophy. What a day for him as well. What a day as well for Ray Rowe, Tex Rowe, retiring from McLaren today. 82 years old, 55 years he's been with the team, their longest serving team member, a man who worked with Bruce McLaren, and I'm sure will be utterly delighted to see McLaren on the podium at his last race in Formula One. God bless you, Tex. Have a great life, my friend. And Lance Stroll there for Racing Point with their best result in Formula One. Could we see more of this in the future, Martin? Wouldn't it be great?
It would be great. Yeah, there's a lot of things coming up that they're going to level the playing field, but yeah, we talked about the reverse race situation, where that certainly add some excitement and would force the teams to develop their cars in a different way to be able to overtake better as well if we had reverse grid situation. But Mercedes don't leave crumbs on the table too often. You've got to make sure you're the first one to eat them.
Yep, for Mercedes today, the race was just a bit ghastly. For the winner, it was just pure Gasly. Well done, Pierre. The Italian Grand Prix, it's a home win for AlfaTauri.
What an incredible race, and a worthy winner in the form of Pierre Gasly. The Italian national anthem being heard, but not for Ferrari, for AlfaTauri. And after everything that Pierre Gasly has been through in the past 12 months, he's just sitting down to take it all in. As Martin was saying, such a shame that the Tifosi aren't spread out underneath him. Quite emotional, you should imagine. Crofty making such a good point a year on from the tragedy that befell his good friend, Antoine Hubert. I wonder if he's in his thoughts right now, because just amazing, wasn't it? Everyone here really pleased with him. He's the first French winner since 1996, and that race in the rain, Johnny Herbert, one of only 3 drivers to finish that race, with David Coulthard and Olivier Panis the victor. But I'd stay there for a while if I was he, Paul Jensen.
The guy's been outstanding this year, hasn't he? And he got unlucky with the safety car at the last Grand Prix. It locked in today, but listen, under the pressure, under everything, to get the job done here.
In motorsport, out of motorsport, and to lift that trophy in Italy especially, you know, AlfaTauri's home country, it's very, very special. The only thing that's missing is the fans here. That would have just made it, but he won't mind right now. It's there's so much emotion, and he's going to wake up in the morning a Grand Prix winner. So special.
Well, that's it. You know, it's just a select few.
Do we think he'll make the morning?